What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast, the real podcast, because the one last week where it was just Dan and Mike, that's not the real podcast.
That's they
thought that because I was out, that they was like kings or something. They were like, we run the show, but like, let's get it straight. Let's keep what it is, keep it 100. I'm your boy Varney, and I'm with my co-host Daniel. And our guest today.
That was a fantastic pod. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. That was fantastic. Did you hear it by chance yet, or it's still in editing process?
I've listened to bits and pieces. I haven't listened to the entire thing yet. Did you get to my
locals talk yet?
No.
You missed the great part. You missed a fantastic part.
We'll see about that, and so will you, listener. You will also see soon once I get them uploaded. I promise they're coming. You can blame Dan. We just blame Dan for everything. Anyways, y'all have been looking. Y'all have been looking at the screen for a minute. You're like, who the fuck is this other guy? This other guy is KNT Elixir from the Misplay for Game podcast.
Yes,
what's up? Let's go.
Yes, yeah, we got the budget upgrade today. I'm filling in for Mike. I'm looking a little bit different. I didn't show up to my locals.
Damn, yo. It's like a 180 shift, like Mike.
Nah, I could always, but nah, it's cool to be here. Like, running a pod is really fun. It's nice to not be doing producing. It's nice to just show up, be a pretty face.
Right. I get to put on my tie and I get to sit here and look nice, and I get to answer questions. I don't have to think.
Always great.
I don't have to direct us. How was that last week, Dan? Since you are, the self-proclaimed face of DGU. How was it producing your podcast last week?
It was fun. I've done it before. It's just that one got scrapped, I think it was, right? Because we had messed up audio.
Did it?
Yeah, the one was like the first me and Mike one. I think that one got scrapped because I had messed up audio. I don't remember if
Good job.
Put it out or not.
So in other words, your first job as a producer was so shit that I had to give you a second chance to produce a podcast. And now you've probably put out a good product. Probably, because I haven't reviewed it yet. That's what I'm hearing.
No, you're completely wrong. It was fantastic. It was just didn't realize I was going to switch my mic to a different setting for whatever reason, which was weird. But anyways, last week's was fantastic. You should totally listen to it whenever that drops. And if it doesn't drop anytime soon, blame Varney. Blame Varney.
Nope. I refuse. Don't blame on me. Anyways, y'all know what we're about. We're going to talk about locals, and I'm going to, lead it off with the thing that I always say. Dan dragged my ass up to the Poconos on Saturday. I spent 120 miles driving my truck, and I looked at that when I got home, and I said, there's no fucking way I'm driving back up here tomorrow. So I didn't go to locals. Daniel?
I didn't go to locals.
Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch.
It wasn't because of that though. It was different reasons, you know what I'm saying? But I was there afterwards. Like I got some games and I got some good practice in with Purple Hybrid versus Shine versus Galactic versus what else I played against Megidramon. So I got some games in. It was pretty good.
Purple Hybrid's a fake deck. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, totally.
That deck doesn't exist anymore.
Please.
You're
I want
Matt.
people to know that, so
it's
no one
non-existent. I said this in a previous pod, but one thing I love, I'm gonna start saying this now. Matt's sins were as egregious as Mega Digimon Fusion. I want you all to live with that. Live with knowing that Matt's sins were as egregious as Mega Digimon Fusion. A crazy world we live. Out of all the cards that we've had problems with in this card game, Matthew Ishida, Yamato, that bitch, was as egregious as MDF. What a world we live in.
That was harsh right there.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like Matt. I don't like Matt. Gabumon, he's just a reptile with a coat. He's not.
He's a liar. He's a hypocrite.
When that man took off his coat for the first time, I was like, what the fuck is that? It's a naked mole rat.
Yeah, it's like when you're wearing jeans in like hot summer and you sit down for too long, you try and get up and it's like the jeans are still stuck to you. That's him when he digivolves. He's like, yo, the coat is me now.
That's
right. That is.
Oh my lord.
Hey, yo, you ever seen the pictures of someone made like perfect edits of a naked Gabumon without the fur. And then the whole Evo line of like furless Garurumon.
No,
That's correct.
Yo, low key is kind of cool, especially what
now.
they did for the Mega Evolution. It's kind of cool, no lie.
I see it. I see a naked Garurumon here. This is really fucking weird.
I gotta
it looks
be
like
real careful googling that one. I don't know if I want to type in naked Garurumon.
Just put like furless Gabumon line or something, make it more, concrete.
I did Google furless. I probably would not type naked Garurumon.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
And especially don't type naked were Garurumon because I feel like that's a bigger rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's
bait right
there.
That's bait.
Yeah, that's bait times 1,000.
Yeah, whoever had made it was like really cool, like what they did, the concept of everything. I was like, that's tough. Here, I found it. Like it wasn't too bad. Just put a furless Gabumon line, and you're good to go.
Furless Gabumon line. All right, I got you.
Yeah, actually,
Just
does go
remember
kind of
that.
hard. Like the Wegarumon's kind of sick.
It was like a whole like YouTube video because I remember seeing it. Like someone did it, and it was like, oh, that's kind of cool,
He looks like he looks like when you go to the shop and you get your cut and they fuck up, so they gotta cut off all your hair. So you come
Damn,
out.
that's tough. That's
That's what you
crazy.
fucking look like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they're still in the back. He's like, yo, how'd I do? And he's like, oh, that's good, man. He's 20.
That's crazy.
Yo, at least the purple, at least furless Psychmon looks
Oh, I hadn't even thought about this.
Furless Psychmon. Now I have to look it up.
You're probably not looking at the same one I am. So I'll send this to Lucas so Lucas can throw this throw this picture up on screen so you can see all the
whole
furless
line so they can see
Gabumons.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna send them
okay.
I'm gonna send them the whole thing so that they can see it, and the link will also be in the description. You can see what a furless Gabumon on all the evolution lines look like, but yeah,
Hilarious.
we don't like him. He's a naked mole rat. Shout out to Coach. Coach, I didn't forget about your video, so your comment gets to make it into today's podcast. I gotta remember what I'm supposed to say though, so give me a second. I know it has something to do with Ryudamon being a stinky, disgusting rat that is no better than Dorumon. Damn, where did I put it? I promise you I wrote this down and I don't know where it went. I apologize, Coach. I will find this at some point. Anyways,
Crazy.
we don't like Gabumon as much as we don't like Ryudamon. I've grown to dislike Ryudamon as well, but probably because Ryudamon doesn't get the respect that he's due. He's just relegated to being the sword.
That's because he's a cop, bro. Bro got no representation. He said, all right, time to enlist in the blue.
That's a fact. All right. So Dan didn't go to locals because he's also a bum, but he has no locals to report on. Don't hear what you have to say, Dan. Alexa,
Bro,
how
this
was
is
your
probably like the
locals?
first time on pod ever that I have no locals to report about.
It's crazy.
Chat.
I nearly went to 2 locals, and I decided I didn't want to. For context, I recently passed my driving test and learned to drive, and I was like, I don't really feel like going on the motorway just yet. Turns out there's a motorway between me and the nearest Costco, so I found out halfway through that journey that I was about to learn how to go on the motorway. But yeah, no, locals went well. People like an excuse to resolve armor cards. Like I basically stopped playing armor as soon as EU Nats was done last year, just so I just wouldn't burn out on it. I was playing it a lot, and I'd been testing a list for 21 online, and went just to I've been to basically 2 locals. We've got one that's in the town over, and then one that's my main one. I got basically everything from BT21 in one go because it's just a bunch of
Nice.
uncommons and rares. The SRs were dirt cheap. I got them for £2, so it was really, really quick. I got all the pieces that I needed, so just started
I'm
testing.
sorry, can you repeat that? To what?
Yeah, £2, 2 great British pounds.
Do you remember when I used that
Okay.
term before, Dan? You were like, "The frick are you saying?" I was like, "I told you it was a word."
Yeah,
I thought I was fucking crazy.
Yeah, for 2 doubloons, I was able to pick up my Davises, and the deck's really, really fun. I've ended up on a middle ground. We were trying to cut Magna X, we were just trying to cut Magna X, but I've ended up on a list testing into Shine, Galacti. Gamamon ran my fade. Funny enough, it doesn't matter if you're running low to the ground level 4s. Gamamon just pops level 4, so they go Gamma make Gulas pop a 4, make Canawise pop a 4, make Sirius pop a 4. So you just it doesn't matter that you've got Armor Purge because he just deletes you over and over again. So those matchups made me kind of keep the Magna X. But yeah, no, I've been really enjoying Armor. Ghost obviously got 1 new card, and so I've just been these are the only 2 things on my desk, and they've been putting in work. First local for BT21 went X1. I lost to Megidramon round 1. That will be relevant again later. And then I 2-0'd everyone else in the shop. I was just... the new Armor Digivolution card's crazy because you basically put people in the illusion of free choice. I played the Armor Mirror where it's that he made Magna X. And I'm like, okay, word, make Magna with Armor Digivolution. It's and I have a Davis set. So it's if you swing, I'm pulling the chair out from underneath you and you can see how this happens. And if you don't, Davis goes sideways and I'm just doing it on my terms. So set up the rope for him, let him do what he wanted, and I just cooked him. And then my main locals, which is where all the killers are, I'm not joking. I complain about this every week. You show up to Fanboy 3 so you can fight 2-time regional champion, guy whose placements in 2023 average was top 8. And the only times he didn't get top 8 is because it was a board game convention. He'd get bored after 3 rounds, drop and go buy board games. We'd have to when you lose your kid in Walmart, that was us trying to make sure this 35-year-old man doesn't just actually despawn and go start come back with 3 board games in hand. He's
that's crazy.
Can
crazy good.
confirm very easy to do when there are the presence of board games. I've unfortunately had it happen to me.
It's horrendous, but you go to Fanboy and you fight your toughest battles for an entry pack, and it's horrendous. So I again went X1, won my first 2 rounds. It was I don't even remember what my round was. I played another mirror and then I played Shine. Actually, Shine is really, really difficult. Funny enough, DP Minus has beat Armor Purge since it was added to the game of BT8. But Awakening is still a really funny card. I put a BT8 Magna that only had 1 armor in trash on top of Elijahmon. It's hit me 3 times. If you can't get rid of it, you lose the game next turn. He turned it into 3 Shine Greymons. The first Marcus swung, and I was I can't let you hit 3 security. And he's okay, bet. Slams Rise, new Marcus, hits me for 4 checks. I'm you know what? I didn't want it enough. That's on me, my bad guy. And then round 3, I hit Megidramon again. He cooked me 3-0, man. I lost so fast, we had enough time to record a different best of 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We played 6 games in the amount of time he cooked me. It was horrendous. That deck is deeply evil. But
oh, damn. I didn't realize that new Rise was so cracked.
Yeah,
I've been told you the Rise is cracked.
But it's one of those you read the cards and you go, yeah, that makes sense. And then you watch the cards resolve and you go, what the fuck?
Yeah, for sure.
The Geogray, we read the Geogray, I'm oh, that means you can do this. And then when you actually see someone do, I'm why did they think that was okay? Why does a Geogray on an empty board turn into a Shine Greymon?
Because the game is way too fast and we need the speed of Shine, and Shine needed it.
It's pretty fun. As long as they keep making burst mode instead of ruin mode. Yeah, keep doing that. That's really kill me.
For sure. Although thematically speaking, I can be okay with Shine Greymon constantly ruin moding the fuck out of me. It is what it is. It's when the other decks abuse it that I'm just it's not even thematic, damn it.
At least if I was getting upsetting, when they pay 4, for Shine Greymon, that hurts me. I'm used to paying 5 or them paying 0, but when they go ahead and have the audacity to pay 4, I'm you're not even going to pay full cost. You're still going to pay for it. You're not going to pay full cost.
Or I mean, you could just go Marcus Sway and then Evo for free.
Exactly. Do it for free. If you're gonna cheat, do it for free. Don't be using this like Shine Greymon text box nobody's ever read before. Pay 5 or pay 0.
I didn't even know this was a Shine Greymon card. I just thought his name was Ruin Mode.
Exactly. You have to pick it up sometimes.
You can play this in Shine Grey? This is crazy.
But yeah, locals goes well. We got a store regional coming up in 2 weeks, I want to say.
Nice. So how many store regionals did you guys get over in the UK approximately?
So I want to say it's like between 8 and 10. So ours are split up into 32 caps and 64 caps. There's 3 64 caps. Our store is one of them. But it's like region locked. So like our store is the one for the entire Northwest. So all of our other like Northwest stores that we visit just didn't get them. One of them got them for One Piece, but didn't get it for Digimon, which is kind of unfortunate. And because a bunch of us bubbled in Glasgow, like it was top 16 day 2 was, your invite for the Glasgow regional. We had 18th, 20th, 22nd, 24th off of tiebreakers. So now all of them have to basically fight for their spot. We had sent a bunch of guys over to Wales this past weekend, and we got one of our invites there. So that's one less person that now is just checked out the season. It's crazy watching like the players that sweat just go like, I see them testing, they'll get mad for a bit and they go, oh wait. It's like that Boondocks clip where he's like, oh wait, I'm white. He's just like, I've got my invite. I don't care anymore. Sack me. Who cares? But yeah, it's I want to say there's like 10 that I've seen on the Bandai app, and we need them now because it's not like the UK has any regionals that they've announced for like the next months. It's like Germany, France, Spain, because Europe is one country.
Yeah.
Europe is one country.
Yeah.
That's how Japan makes it feel like, right? Yeah.
You know how it is. It's like, don't worry. So I have you ever visited?
We got one regional is in LA, California versus, everybody I go to, and it's like 6 hours away. Flight.
Yeah. Like the fact that you guys have to fly, like same country, like we joke about that, like flying from London to Scotland because it's cheaper than a train, but y'all, that's like just actually how it be.
So like I was reading like a Reddit post once, and they were like, as a person from the UK, we look at the Americans, we laugh at them, but they legitimately have to take a plane to traverse to some parts of their country because, from example, we are over on the east coast of Pennsylvania, and then there's Cali. That's, Dan, how long a drive is that? That's over a day, right? Over 24 hours?
Over a day easy, yeah.
Thing is, I want to say it's closer to like 28 hours drive.
Yeah, something like that.
And even for us to drive down the coast, like going down to Florida is
about 8,
I want to say hours. 8 is on the very low side. I guess it depends because Florida is so fucking huge. It depends where you're going. If you're like northern Florida, yeah, I would say like 8 to 9. But if you're going like Miami, like southern Florida, it's easily 12 hours. And it's like, fuck. And he was like, yeah, they're not joking. They can't just walk from like one state to the other. And I'm just like, yeah, I wish Japan would realize that because, Georgia sounds close, but that's still like 7 hours. That's a 7-hour drive.
Yeah, I want to say like the UK, like from the south, like Plymouth is like a random place in the south, to somewhere in like north of Scotland. I think you can get there in under 24. Like if you were driving straight, I wouldn't want to do it, but like I'm pretty sure you can do it in under a day.
So technically, I just looked it up. Oh wait, there's an accident. Hold on, wait. I was about to say it's 16 hours with 2 accidents, 2 bad accidents, I guess.
To where?
To Orlando.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it should be. I would say around.
Yeah, it's about 16 hours to Orlando from like where I live to there, which is crazy.
What's even crazier is like because of where we are in the US, you would think that like getting to like Maine or Massachusetts would be like a short distance, but even that's like 8 hours, which is insanity.
Well, that's because like you gotta drive through New York, and New York is congested as all hell, and that's where the
even if you can skirt New York and not go into the city, the fact that you have to like go around it and the extra mileage accounted for, it's just like anywhere we go, I'm like Bandai, I'm appreciating what they did for the US. They finally gave us one in almost every state.
Yeah.
And one in like almost every sort of like major region. I know there's definitely still regions that didn't get them, but it's a big improvement from last time. But I asked because I know the UK was suffering with that. Latin America obviously very well suffers with just the general lack of an entire lack of organized play. I don't know how big Australia is in relation to like what they got in terms of tournaments and stuff.
Because like Australia is not too bad. If you're in like New Zealand, it sucks because like Oceania, as far as Japan is concerned, is just Australia. So if you're on any of that continent that isn't just Australia,
right.
you're that flying every time. But I was looking at it like Thurso, which is like the most northern part of Scotland that's not like a Hawaii kind of island, down to Falmouth, which is like the southernmost place in England, is on public transport doing like a bunch of different trains and buses is 23 hours. If you just drove it straight, it's 14. Like you could fit the UK like several times into place. I think it's like smaller than Texas.
How expensive are train tickets? Like let's say you wanted to go to...
Hey bro, we'll be here until... Trains, bro. Trains are a fucking scam in the UK because they've been privatized. They've been privatized and they're owned by Europeans. So we don't own any of our train networks at all, which means they just fleece us. So it was one of the things that was really frustrating when we went to EU Nats was like, you can hop on a train from like Amsterdam to like where we were, and it was like £2 for the day, and you could just buy that ticket, no pre-planning anything. And it was £2 for the day, travel anywhere basically in the country. Here, if you don't like, do the like 5-finger jutsu and then, sacrifice your firstborn and then plan 3 months in advance and, make sure to have like a dream catcher in the background whilst you hit the thing on train line, you're paying like 3 digits. Like it was cheaper from the guys from London to fly to Glasgow than it was to get a train up.
Damn, that is crazy.
It's
I
ridiculous.
would expect the train to be cheaper.
Nah, it's a fast, man. Like,
no, honestly, it is the same over here. Cause like I looked at taking a train. We don't have a train that stops where I live, even though we're like a somewhat kind of major city. So I have to go out to Philadelphia to catch the train. But catching a train just from there to somewhere like I think it was Orlando. I was like,
I was about to say, there's no trains that like go cross country anymore, though.
Yeah, you guys don't have trains at all. It's so weird.
Not cross country, but just going north to south. We have train lines that, I can't remember exactly where it stops, but I want to say it was Orlando because it was going somewhere down south. But even that, I was just like, I might as well just fucking take a plane because it's cheaper than trying to take the fucking train, which is crazy. You would think the train would be cheaper.
Yeah, they're already going that way anyway. Like, just let me on.
Yeah, it's the only way they can go.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Damn, rip. We what a world we all collectively live in. Just a reminder that no matter where you live, we're always getting fucked in 10 different ways.
Yeah.
So, what was it? I was gonna ask something, and I forget what I was gonna ask.
Was it Store Regionals?
Oh yes, thank you. Not Store Regionals. I was gonna ask you because you said you played off against Megidramon twice and you lost to it. What are your opinions on Megidramon? Because
tier 1, that shit is like Bidif. It's Bidif.
It's the new hot thing in the format. Everybody's now finding out about it.
Okay, so Megidramon players. I know you and the Takato players. It's a circle for the Venn diagram. Put Takato away. Just put him away and play 4 analog youth. You're a purple deck. Stop pretending that you're a red deck. Just go buy Grab Crush for 20 cents. Get your free top. Deadass. Like so we have a bunch of guys that are trying to get cards banned. And this format's thing is they let Grav Crush and Parabolic Junk off the hook. Parabolic Junk is going to be a project, but Grav Crush needs to go. And that is what Megidramon is. You run your 1 government allotted Jack Raid, and you run as many Grav Crushes as you've got space for. And you just kill people like turn 3. Like, if they don't make big unaffected wall, turn 2, you die. Like the one game I've taken off him in 6 games has been I made Magna X turn 2. I had Awakening and I made Magna X turn 2. I won that game. Every other game, if like sometimes I'll leave him on 1. I'm like, he doesn't have the pieces here. He's on a Gilmon. I don't die from this, I die. I just get fucking cooked. The deck is so fast and it's so belligerent. It's purple, so if your removal isn't if your removal's deletion, you lose. It gets big enough to crash with things, and also sometimes doesn't matter. Like if it dies on the second check, brilliant. It was dying on the second check anyway, so it still gets its value. Like a lot of the times, it's check 2, burn 1, float into the entire stack again. Check 2, burn 1, float into a rush body, and you die. Like. And every time you think, okay, he spent too many resources to make a second stack, Grab Crush, and you die.
Grab Crush, yeah.
One time I was looking at my trash. I was like, okay, I've only got 9 cards in trash. I looked back up, the memory gauge had gone from 0 to 6. And I went, are we dead ass? It's awful. Like it's the same thing that Gallimon had, is the player base are the problem. Cards are cracked, players are ass. I watch my friend Tommy Tricks, Fish Extraordinaire, Megidramon for second place at the Welsh Regional. I watch him tank his day. He could just be having the finest day in the world, feeling like $1 million. And then he'll go onto DigiChats and he'll check a thread that involves staccato. Day is ruined. I just don't know why he keeps doing it to himself. But the player base are the problem. And all of the Megidramon players right now are Gallimon players. And that is the problem. You should treat that, if you liked birds, if you saw like the birds red hybrid, same thing. Yep. Deeply dishonest deck. Just play it. That is what it is basically now. Now that they've taken a Goonimon out back and shot him, this is what you should be doing if you liked doing that. Deck's crazy. It literally is just Asia's figured it out. We figured it out. We just need NA to start abusing it, and hopefully Grav Crush gets put in the wood chipper immediately.
I've always been of the opinion that since Hammer Spark went, since that card got put to 1, every card should have been put to 1. But I'm also a bigger fan of just fucking murdering cards. Well, I'm glad they murdered Matt, but I'm not glad that they didn't murder Jack Raid along with Hammer Spark, because they all just should have been banned.
Something funny about them always putting shit to 1, except now purple cards. Like I think them deciding is like, yeah. If we put it to 1, that's put it to 50. Like it doesn't fucking matter if it's purple. Like at the very least, now that Matt's gone, you have to play like Dracmon or some shit to get your Jack Raid back. And if you're playing Dracmon to get your Jack, good on you, bro. You deserve it. You can have your second Jack Raid. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, maybe Lilith will die. We've got a friend that like comes down from the Yu-Gi-Oh mountains every 2 formats to see if he can get Lilith banned, and so far it hasn't worked. But he's trying.
I think once purple gets access to some sort of 1 cost to Digivolve Ultimate, that's when it's all she wrote. But it's just too expensive to get in. No, Rihi doesn't cost 1. It still costs 3, right, Dan? Or I guess you have the old Rihi. Yeah, like the old Rihi is trash. Yeah, he's trash.
But he costs 1.
You gotta build up a whole stack just to get into Lilith, just to gain value, and you gotta make sure you got your 10 cards in trash so you can try to pull cards back. So it's just not there yet. But if we ever get a 1 cost to Digivolve, good purple level 6 or level 5, maybe. I don't know. I don't put anything past Bandai anymore. I've seen the shit that they brew up in there. I looked at Omni X. I read the card. I read Omegamon. Like,
low-key, I think the most egregious part of that whole package is Last Guardian. Like Omni X, obviously ridiculous card. Omega, like the crayon, red crayon always tastes good, but like, what were they thinking with Last Guardian, man? Like, actually, they were like, yeah, this will cost 1 after turn 3, and Omni X now results in 3 checks. Minimum. Yeah. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, Last Guardian is it's always the case of, people say that we should hit Peter Frankie said it earlier in our chat today. He was like, I advocate for hitting the engine of cards rather than like the actual boss monster itself. When you guys were talking about Mirage, Dan, not that Mirage didn't need to go. Fuck that card. I'm glad it's out of here. But You know, it makes you think like a lot of people might hate Omni X, Omegamon, and Cool Boy, but like, what do you want to hate the most about it? It's not the Omni X that you want to hate. It's probably the Omegamon that you want to hate. And it's also the Last Guardian when you're like, all right, as long as I can remove I know it's going to happen. As long as I can remove it, I'm fine. But then you can't because it literally just says no. It was the funniest shit when I read it. I was like, does this card literally just say no? When one of your Digimon would leave. No, just no. I refuse. It doesn't happen.
I think the craziest thing about it is like, it does all that protection, but then also in his own deck, if you're like, okay, well, I can't shoot it, I'll just leave it alone. And then it goes, okay, yeah, rush rate over your body piercing, and then end of turn. Yeah, I'll have another check, please. I'm like, okay, so if I don't remove you, I take 2.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he's a whole 16K. So it's not even like, oh, my 15K boss monster, I'm good. No, he's 60. He's got that extra 1K.
Loki, I think the Jesmon doesn't get enough hate.
I know you're saying, Royal Knights is crazy. But when you see in a War Greymon OTK, when you see it doing 5 checks and then you go end of turn, swing for game with a cleared board, you see Omni X in a whole different light.
I am positive I would see Omni X in a different light then.
Dan, are you on that Dorbitmon hype?
No, but I know people are. What I'm talking about is legit War Greymon OTK, like BT9 style. Except with like newer stuff, like the new secret. It was basically you climb a chain, you have like 4 cool boys, tie, whatever. You climb with the chain, you do all the memory gain, you do Metal Gray X that gives you second attack +1 and +3K. You go into Secret War Greymon, you have the X antibody underneath. Secret War Greymon allows you to swing. Mind you, that's a second attack +1. Metal Gray X gives you second attack +1. You probably have second attack +1 Greymon or a tie on it. So you're doing 4 or 5 checks. And then you go even to Omni X, clear everything, swing 4 or 5 checks. You have protection on it because, you're Greymon X, right? And then you go, oh, I'm not done. End of turn game. It's great. It's great. Fantastic.
If you don't play that at the next store regionals, I'm going to be very highly disappointed.
I'm not playing it at the store next door because my luck is I won't ever see those pieces. So we're not even going to bother trying with that at the moment. I was already cooking up stuff, for Greymon this format because the new Greymon cards are pretty solid. So I want to like build something, but currently not yet.
Red OTK is in a really funny place right now, though. Like Loki, like Huang did the video on Medusa. That pile of 50 is so funny.
Yep.
So funny.
It is, yeah.
And another fanboy, like the Dorbitmon list that's been kind of floating around. So that's from the Glasgow regional. That's one of the guys at my store. He just shows up. He goes, "What is the least fair thing I could do this format?" And he's like, "Oh, Omni X does just have Rush." He used to just do Dorbit hit you for 5 and put Blitz Omni on top of it and be like, "Doesn't have Rush, but you can scoop if you want," and just wait for people to scoop. Now he actually does just kill you.
Yeah.
And he killed full power Mirage with stuff like that. Like we nearly had him on stream, but like we went over and I was like, "Oh, I kind of want him on stream for his final game." And I check his opponent's deck and I was like, "Oh, it's Mirage." I'm like, "Oh, Dorbit just draws cards. Surely he loses this." He killed him in 7 minutes. I was like, he just went minus from hand a bunch. You just digicross raw and just hit him and just killed him. Yep. If you just draw Exodia turn 2, you win the game.
That's a fact. You can't. It's undeniable.
It is so funny because it's like you'll put him on camera and he'll just brick and he'll just like draw open pass. The deck doesn't work. And then he's like, "All right, let me play one friendly." And you just watch him hit the filth from nowhere. It's awesome. Lightning Joust is an incredible card.
Lightning Joust. That's a card. Was that plus 2K and then a sec +1 if you have like
as long as you have less security.
Yeah, and it goes to hand if it's checked out as security. So if you make the mistake of chipping the Dorbit player, dead next turn. Unlucky, bro.
Yeah, you know what? That's why my new favorite deck has been Galactic. Because if there's one thing that's always been fucking frustrating is thinking I can get a cheeky chip damage in, and then I hit a fucking tamer or I hit a training when my opponent has nothing and I give them something and I'm just like, fuck. And now I can just say, nah. You don't want to attack my security? You have like 3 bodies on board. Nah. Nah, I'm good. I can wait.
Dude, that shit hurts me in my soul. When I'm playing purple, I'm like, I'm gonna send my 1K rookie to guard, and it makes it back to me. I'm fuming.
Yeah.
I had a game versus Galactic. I hit 3 Zenith, 3 in security. I'm like, bro. What do you guys think of the
is Ragnarok cannon you hit, and then they dropped a Snatchmon search? I'm just like, that's such good value.
Awful. I mean, it's really funny though, because like everyone, like when Zenith got revealed, and it's like, how did he beat Owen? He's on Galactic or some pile of dog shit. And then you read Ragnarok, kind of like, oh, that's how he got that world champ.
Oh yeah.
I really wish they showed that game.
About the deck, you could win early game, you could win mid game, you can even win late game while you're at 0 security. All you gotta do is just pop it off, and you're good to go. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is, you can still win. That's the good thing about the deck.
Unless you're playing.
What were you going to ask about it, Elixir?
I was going to ask, what do you guys think about the Jedi's House and File Island?
File City, or is it File Island?
Island of Adventure or whatever, yeah.
It's File Island.
That's so one is a plus 3K on your turn, the other one's a plus 2K on your opponent's turn or something like that?
All turns.
All turns?
Solid cards. I don't know what decks will really use them a lot, but Rookie Rush sounds pretty good with that, you know?
Let me put y'all on game. It's armor. It's the craziest. It's the craziest armor card.
I mean, I'm sure, right? Because especially with the Vmon and the deck, like I don't know what you're running as your eggs, but considering that you have Demi V and that Vmon for boost, your 8K Flamemon or Flame Dramon fucking is what 11K on your turn now with that raid, bounces security in the hand, and you tap Davis and you get to bounce it back. Digivolve again, unsuspend, swing again, high DPs. Yeah,
also the new ones. Sure. Yeah, you're swinging like 13, 15K like frequently.
At level 4s. Yeah. That's
criminal.
Really good.
Lydramon with just suspend anything piercing. Sure. Like it's sick. And you know, if obviously the Jedi's House is your turn only, but it goes to the bottom, so it's there basically the whole game. The File Island, hey, if you hit my security, that's a free Davis. I'm spending 2 to either be buffed for the whole game. Okay, versus Galactic, to be fair, I get shot to hell. It doesn't matter. But like for every other fair deck in the game where they have the choice between chip my security and give you a free Davis or get hit by roided out all-terrain vehicles named Lydramon for the whole game, it's fantastic. I played a game versus Shine where I put that shit down turn 1 and then protected it for the whole game. I'm staring at the Davis in my hand. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I keep blocking?
Damn, it's not the roided out Lydramon.
Bro, I love that. Like Lydramon was not like Flame Dramon's the reason I play Digimon. But they just keep making the Lydramon so much better than Flame Dramon, man. It hurts me every time, but piercing's crazy. I was running Lightning Blade at EU Nats to do what the Lydramon now does for free.
Yeah. It's they put that option combined with the Lydramon to do.
Bro, I'm 2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2 on game doing stupid things and then becoming the intended game plan. The Lightning Blade, that's me. I was doing Lightning Blade on promo Flame Dramon so I could get 2 checks out of him, and then Ragnar changing his whole playstyle. That's from up here. Back in, was it EX3 or whatever? You know, the starter deck ones, they didn't care what source went under. It was just like, if a source was added by an effect, activate like the your turns. I was just using X antibody 0 cost to just go like, yeah, load the thing, not do the gacha, and swing my Durandamon for 1 billion checks. And now that's like the game plan is now load from hand for sources. I'm like, I bitched about it so much when it came out. I'm like, oh, it's not gacha. And I was like, I took a step back and went, wait, no, this is my fault. I was doing this, and now this is what they want you to do. And it's like, yeah, it's weird. I'm convinced Kohei Murata, he's a sub to the channel. He's in there. Every time we do something stupid, he's like, word, put it in the game.
You know what's crazy? On that producer letter, they acknowledged social media, which isn't like, that's not crazy by itself. Like, I expect the company to acknowledge social media. But it makes me sit here and wonder, like, somebody watching our content from, what do you think that they're watching? Like it just makes me think about all these things that they do. And I'm like, are you listening? Are you doing this to spite us, you motherfucker? Like, I know you know what the entire YouTube ecosphere of Digimon content looks like. I know you see when we was complaining about Mirage. I know you see when we have these issues or when things are running around. What are you doing over there? It's always funny to me to think about.
Yeah, I like the idea of just like the whole balance team just sitting there with like popcorn, got their feet up, and they're just watching some like English YouTuber just a bitch about a car, and he's like, yeah, we did that.
Yeah, bro. That would be honestly,
like, yeah, that was the plan.
It's pretty funny.
It's like, what were they thinking?
Now we got
It's like,
all your money. Time to ban it later.
Everybody complaining about APOC, they're like, yeah, we know what the fuck we did. We weren't fucking kidding.
APOC is like the one where I'm like I think they accidentally made that card because you look at the Golfmon.
I think it was accidental too.
Yeah, especially with the Golfmon and then the Mephisto right after. I was like, huh. Ain't no way this was meant to get banned. There was no way they meant
just
that broken.
mill them out and then unmill them. That would be a really cool. You're definitely gonna do that. Yeah, you're gonna unmill them.
Right.
I just don't know what they thought with like making it absorb. Like, I get like the lore, and that's probably like the only thing they keyed it on in making it absorb any level 6. Well, like it was very clearly like
whoa. Rephrase. Any level 6 and lower, please. Thank you.
Sorry. Any level 6 and lower. But it was very clearly like meant to work with a specific archetype, being Dark Masters, being able to drop it, you know, for what was it? I think 3 costs because reduced by 4 for each.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like, it really does. It, like for something like that, where it might be a true a mistake in game design. It's just like, what did you actually test this with? Because like, no shot you didn't test this with just some random one. I as a software developer, like I can't cover everything when I'm developing. But like sometimes I'll just think of some like random shit. I'm like, maybe I should test this just to make sure that this stupid small little function still works. And that's just like me as one person, let alone like a whole fucking team of people.
Genuinely, it feels like sometimes, you know, when they do like the official like streams with all their producers and stuff and they play like recommended list, it feels like they take 50 of the cards that came out in the set and they go, these are the cards that people are going to play, and they have all the other the cards are on a piece of paper. They don't go to any like, you know, any deck builder and just search the word on play, filter by level 6 and see like what weird shit you could put. It's just like they just play and they do 2 tests and they go, jobs are good, and send it, just ship it. I'm just like,
I like this.
No way.
Exactly.
Good job, team.
That's definitely how I felt, especially with APOC. That era of cards, that's what it felt like they did that for some reason. Because that was APOC wasn't the only one. It was other cards that was like, they felt like they forgot about what old stuff we had and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Megidramon EX3, a card no one has read in a million years. Like, yeah, that does have an on play because the deck had on plays.
Yeah.
Good old Megidramon. And now if APOC was still around, it would have access to a new Megidramon. And it could just be Megidramon APOC. You could play 3 Megidramons and call it a day, right?
No one's gonna play that promo garbage.
Hey, I'm not saying that you would. I'm saying that you can. You can play Megidramon Tribal featuring Dark Masters and APOC. How about that, Dan? That should be your next deck. That's what you should play that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
I know how much you love Megidramon, you know? You love the big dragon.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah. She's cool. I made a couple decks with her in the past.
You know what I saw on Twitter today, or X, whatever the fuck it is. It was like, name your hottest, or no, sorry, your wokest Digimon opinion. And Carney X was like, basically said that gender doesn't matter in Digimon because like obviously like Angemon can digivolve into Angewomon. So like it got me thinking, and I was like, huh, that's true. Angemon can very well digivolve into an Angewomon, all things speaking. So like if you're like, oh, like I think about like my stupid ass, like, yeah, like this is my Angewomon, like this is super cool. Or even somebody showed one from the Vital Bracelet, and it was a Bastemon. And Bastemon can digivolve into Marsmon. I'm like, oh man, I have this like super cool waifu type Bosnymon, and then she digivolves into Marsmon, and I'm like, yeah, that's Digimon for you. That's the way it works. I guess, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I wake up one day and
I wasn't sure where you were going with this conversation, this part.
Where'd you think
in like a weird way. I just didn't know where like the point was going. I was like, are you trying to make a point? It's just a statement of like the conversation. Like, I was just so confused on where you were going.
It just came up. And I just thought about like how, you know, we're like obviously everybody like waifu and husbandos and blah blah blah. And then you think about Digimon that are realistically speaking genderless, and you can have a waifu digivolve into a husbando. Then where does that leave you as somebody who only likes waifu? You're like, it's my Marsmon. This is my G. This is my guy now. That's what I was thinking. That's my Twitter take for the day. I browse on Twitter every so often.
I think Digimon's always been funny for that though, because like, I mean, the Angel Woman line is a great example of that. It's like you've got your dog that turns into a cat, that turns into an adult woman, that turns into a dragon, and then you've got like, I don't know, your lizard that turns into a wolf, which turns into a furry, which turns into a fridge.
Yep.
Not just say furry. Oh no. That's good.
And that is the way Digimon works. It was just funny. It was funny like reading the comments and finding out like, yeah, like that does happen. That's definitely a thing. I'm like, yeah, I like Lilithmon. Lilithmon can also digivolve into like, I don't know, what's a level 7 like male figure? I guess like Bagramon, so to say. Lilithmon, digivolve into Bagramon.
Dude, I'm so excited for Sinister Order. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm so worried that Bagra is going to be ass.
You know the funniest thing about that comment right there, Martin? Like, as someone who's been playing Digimon for like the longest and like watches all that, that shit did not like phase me. It's like, yeah, I already knew I can go from an Angemon to an Angel Woman. And
You
like,
just
like,
don't think about it, you know?
Yeah, because I'm so used to like the idea, like, you know, Digimon could just do it to whatever, like, you know.
Or as Elixir said, the best example.
That's actually a comment.
Your cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's my cute cat. Don't you like my Garomon? Oh, she's an Anjibomon now? Oof. like that's oof in like 3 different ways. Oh, now here's my beautiful Anjibomon, and now she's a fucking dragon. You ever see I don't know how much you probably don't watch a lot of anime, Dan. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Elixir, but Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Just because I know what Dragon Maids look like, I feel like I should just call you a loser for that one. Like, I think of Dragon Maids, I think of Yu-Gi-Oh! So like, I immediately think you're a loser now for that one.
It's not far off, honestly.
That's all I gotta say on that. Anyways, let's get to know Elixir. So, you know the deal. What's up? How'd you get into Digimon? How'd you get into the card game?
Genuinely, Digimon, I'm not sure when I got into it as a kid. I think 02 was out. So like I didn't have like cable basically. So I didn't really get to watch like Jetix, which is what like the main UK provider was for like Digimon. So I'd only really see it at my cousin's house. I saw the movie on VHS, found it again like way later at like a garage sale or whatever. But like 02, I remember being like the first season that I like really like messed with. For me, Digimon was watching on YouTube, split into 4 parts, sub Espanol, that kind of thing for like seasons 1 through 5. But I've always liked Vmon. Digimon Rumble Arena 2 was the first Digimon game I played. So Vmon's my guy from that. Digimon World Dawn, I think, was like my first like world/story Digimon game.
There we go, we're getting better.
Are we though? Dawn is not good. And I played Cyber Sleuth. I never got in. So I grew up with Tamagotchis, but I never got like actual like V-Pets for Digimon. So like I've missed all the Vital Bracelet stuff. I've never like gotten into that. I didn't understand Digimon World at all when I played it like once or twice. Didn't realize that 1, 2, 3, and 4 were giant, just like clusterfucks. I nearly got 4 Blockbuster back when like Blockbuster was a thing. We were gonna get it, but the disc was scratched. So me and my brother were planning on playing it over summer, and we just never got around to it. And then I looked up as an adult. I'm like, dodged the fattest bullet of all time.
I was about to say, good thing you didn't play it. Good thing that wasn't your first game, your first Digimon game. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then so for card games, like I played Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! Like everyone did. But Vanguard was the first TCG I took seriously. I played that.
What clan?
Started with Kagero, then Narukami.
Fitting.
I took Narukami to the first regional. Oh, well, actually, it wasn't even regional. It was Nats. So I took Narukami to that, and then I got kind of interested in like Link Joker and stuff like that. When Zero came out, I hard pivoted to OTT. I'd never played OTT in paper, but because my pools were trash, I ended up on Oracle Think Tank. So I developed that skill. Really like Genesis. I got a bunch of my tops on Genesis, and I was just an absolute ladder menace on Dark Irregulars. That card got hit in ways that it never got hit in paper because I was out here bullying Link, the Limit Break players. You just choke them on 3 damage for the whole game, and then just be like, because it was like that auto perfect guarding, just seeing a swing go through when they're on 1 damage, and then it starts doing the checks, and just like from 1 to 6, you better pull a heal trigger on any of these. And I'm sitting there on 5 damage. I'm watching heal trigger wasted, heal trigger wasted, and they just die from 1. And then they hit raging. I'm like, come on, man, let me have fun. But yeah, I just refused to play Digimon. I spent so much money on Vanguard as like growing up as a kid and teen that I was like, I just don't want to play card games anymore. And I foolishly said, once Flamedramon is in the game, if Flamedramon ever comes to the game, I'll play it. They tried getting me on the All Force starter deck. I'm like, yeah, I like Vmon, but like All Force, that's some bozo. I don't know who that is. Flamedramon, I'm in. And then BT8 happened, and now I'm cooked. So yeah, that's how I got into the card game.
And now you're, I guess you're like 15 sets deep now at this point.
Yeah, I've spent criminal amounts of money on this game. Ran a couple of tournaments. Like, we've never done the weekly stuff, but we're still really proud of the case tournament. We're going to do another one maybe in September. We'll see. Case tournaments waste a lot of money.
We've never ran a case tournament because that's mad ass money to drop.
Yeah, I want to say we went
more.
Overall, we didn't go minus 13, but we spent about 1,300 on our case tournament because it was the case. We paid for mats, custom. They were like 2-sided cloth mats. Rented a venue because we did ours in person as well.
Nice.
We want to do it again. We've learned a lot, obviously, from doing it. We had very similar to you guys have the 3D printed like DP markers. One of my like friends from childhood, he does resin stuff, so he's got resin versions of those. Vanguard player as well, so you know, all of us sharing that one brain cell. It's like, what if we took the Vanguard? We all watched the car protagonist video and went,
exactly. That's
what if we
where
had
it came
DP
from.
plus?
Right. I mean, you got so many status vectors to track in Vanguard. People think we have a lot in Digimon. I'm like, you haven't played Vanguard, have you?
Yeah. So that's kind of like where I'm at. I've been on YouTube since 2015. And I got into commentary, funny enough, accidentally. Like when Smash came out on like 3DS and Wii U, there was no like Smash scenes around me. So I just set one up, like reached out to my local church, kind of got involved with there, started just running events and recording them. But I didn't, because like commentary was like super standard. I didn't want to upload like non-commentated stuff. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll commentate. And then we got really into it, started traveling around the country. And then when I went to uni, I just started like taking that way further. I've gotten to work with Nintendo directly as part of like some Smash circuits. I've done like Red Bull, Monster, a bunch of different fighting games, Overwatch, CS, Valorant. And so like, that's why for Digimon, I'm just a colossal hater. I've just been doing commentary for 10 years, so I'm just a massive dickhead. I came in just hating on every caster in Digimon because nobody, everyone's a hobbyist. Nobody knows what they're doing. But I'm just like,
yeah, for sure.
This is dead ass my lifeblood and y'all are trash. Commentary has gotten a lot better though in the last year or so. Like there's been a huge improvement. I really like a lot of like the current commentating scene. So like there's still room for improvement. But I think content creators also just know a lot more about the game now. I think everyone, like the standard of Digimon has just gone up in general for the most part. So like I'm less of a hater. I'm less of a hater. I'm still pretty opinionated, but that's why people like me. You either like me or you don't, and I've just come to accept that. But yeah, no, like commentary is like my lifeblood. It's why I'm always yelling from the hills to get Bandai to put me on stuff, because I've done what I do for a living for a long time, and you know, I make concessions. I give mates rates where there's needed. I've been paid a lot less doing Digimon than I have anything else, but that's because I want to bring the floor up, and yeah, I can't be charging what I charge for other things to get entry level for Digimon. Bandai barely wants to stream the game as is, so I'm doing what I can with like content, and like you guys were a great like firecracker, I think, for content just in general, getting less lazy this year. I feel like everyone's been sitting on projects but not really been going through on projects, but a lot of people I think started like pulling the trigger on a lot of things after I forget what episode it was. It was before episode 100. It was like what, 97?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was like 97 or 98.
We know exactly which episode you're talking about.
yeah, that one I think it was great.
Yeah.
Like it was frustrating because I was nearly done. Like the video had been 7 months in the works, but like I was just waiting on a little bit more footage. I was like, damn, I could have beat them to it. It was like Digimon content's not all washed, and then I'm just like listen to the episode like, fuck, I missed the deadline.
The funniest thing is that came up, and like, Dad, do you remember like
that was
what
an accident
prompted us? Right, I don't even remember like why we decided to talk about that. It was literally just like, I feel like we're always bullshitting. We're always talking bullshit in our chat, and I just think the one day I was just like, man, Dad, I'm tired. I don't like.
Yo, he hit me with the the holds me with the girl to the grandfather. Grandpa, I'm tired.
Grandpa, I'm tired. I was just like, man, like there's just not. It really was. I mean, I don't need to repeat it anything here. But I was just like, it just, we brought it up and it just started like spitballing, as we always do. And believe it or not, none of these podcasts ever really have like some sort of predetermined topic. 9 times out of 10, we're thinking of the topic like 5 minutes before we hop on the podcast. So
damn, you can't be telling the sauce like that, dog. Come on.
That's okay. I started invited.
So you keep it fresh.
I think that's what's fun about you guys though, because like I've gone on and dropped a bunch of different like Digimon podcasts. Like you guys are one of the few ones that I kept up with because you're the most fun easily. DGS was really fun because they like were an in-person one.
Studios.
Yeah, they were really fun to watch.
Two Tamers Talk, right? That's what they were.
Two Tamers Talk was really good. Just production value wise, they were really kind of like ahead. I disagreed with a lot of the.
I was always jealous about it,
but
I disagreed with a lot of the takes as well. If you're watching, I saw some of them.
That's the one with the guy that wants to like ban the whole game, basically.
That's my goat.
It was the nightmare take. It was the nightmare take. Yeah.
I love Basil. That's my goat.
Shout out to Nightmare.
I think people should play this game whilst hating it fully. But like they were really fun, and then like I watched some other podcasts from like other gaming stuff, but like these were like the main two that we watched. We don't even know how we've ended up on like nearly 50 episodes of ours. Ours was supposed to be like, yo, if we make it to 3, good job, gang. And like our main gimmick was like the game show shit and doing it live. I think it's really interesting, like doing it pre-recorded versus doing it live is a whole different ball game.
For sure.
But I think like you guys just being genuine, like being a podcast that features Digimon rather than being a Digimon podcast half the time, I think is a really fun part about it. Like I'll just have you guys on in the background, and if you start talking about Digimon, I'm paying attention. Once you just start railing Mike for 30 minutes, I'm paying attention.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's what I mean, when Dad and I started, it was just I think we got good takes. If everybody, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100. If everybody else's takes are this bad, surely our takes can't be much worse. So that's how we started.
Exactly. And then one of them, I don't know who it was. I was just talking about the story recently about like how I got into this too. And we were like, exactly what he said. I was like, yo, these takes are trash. Like, we got better takes. We could do better.
That was all you.
One of us,
I mentioned like doing a pod.
Yo, you want to do a podcast? I was like, I don't know who's the one who started it. Was it you that asked me? Or was it vice versa?
I was like, I know how to I can learn how to do a pod, but you were like, yeah, we got shit takes. We can hop on and give our shit takes too.
Okay, that's what I said. All right. So it was just like, and then we just did it. And it was just like, he was like, yo, just grab A, B, and C. All right, let me figure out where I could get a mic. Let me figure out whatever. And then we just started recording. We're like, all right. And then ever since that's all it was.
I've tried to take us to more like professional route. I've tried to come on here with like an agenda and like, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to hit this point at this point and blah, blah, blah. But it never fucking works out that way.
Yeah, like
it never does. Goes off the rails.
We have started rest in peace Skype. We were doing Discord when we started, and then we moved to Skype because I've worked with NDI sources and stuff like that. I was like, all right, we'll use Skype. And then Skype was obviously dead and nobody's installing Microsoft Teams. So I've got to figure that out.
So you can pay me either.
Yeah, it's but like we now have like the podcast chat for like available guest pooling, and it's like 2 bullet points. And there's like did anyone do a game show? Anyone got a game show ready? Big question mark on that. And then we'll just figure it out. Bonus content that people are paying for. We're just like, hey bro, we'll figure that out 2 minutes before recording. There's no point. Tom's our stats guy. He's the professional. I do all the production stuff and the video stuff, but like usually Tom's the glue that figures out what we're gonna do, and me and Marcio just do our best to derail him for like an hour and a half. And every so often I'll put together the most diabolical game show of all time. Like you guys doing the Jeopardy was really, really fun. I think there's that, but I feel like you come at your game shows from a place of love. You should be trying to make your co-host miserable for 45 minutes, Barney. I just need to see hatred. If the call doesn't end with that was the biggest waste of my time, you've done something wrong. I go like when they see the transition and the game show happens and they see Lethal or Living, I see the light leave some of my co-host eyes because they know they're about to be strapped to. It's like actually they're just watching me hook up the bomb to their chest. I'm like, dance for me, monkey. Lethal Living's great.
That's wild.
Lethal Living is some of the hardest I've laughed on camera at anything because like people are ass at this game. Like frankly, people are ass at this game, and this game is designed in hell. So you could just watch the better player lose sometimes, and that's really entertaining to me as someone that has no stake in the game and does not care for its health sometimes. I love watching the better player lose. And making a game show around that of just being like I don't think he's dead from this position, because everyone's an armchair analyst when they're watching regionals. I'm like, I wouldn't have played like that. And put your money where your mouth is. Bet your life savings. Push out a raising. Does this guy die? I want to see channel points flying. The house always wins. Always gamble. Genuinely, like I want to get you guys on for that at some point. The hardest part about running that show is just finding clips. Everyone loves submitting clips of like, oh yeah, I just absolutely ass blasted this guy 50,000 checks. He never saw it coming. And like everyone saw it coming. You're playing Fenri Takamikazuchi before the ban list. Everyone knows this clip is going to kill. I'm trying to find the ones where you see the lethal line, it's perfect, and Rivals Barrage causes overflow and you lose the game on the spot. That's the sort of stuff I need to find. But nobody sends me that. They always send me them doing their like no scope 360s. It's so frustrating.
I'll have to start keeping it in mind because I've gotten in the habit of recording any webcam match I play. And I've definitely had some moments where I'm like, man, that's a good that's a good action replay clip.
Made them that I never recorded, and I'm just like, oh, this is goated plays. And then I explained to Varn, he's like, that doesn't make sense, but all right, cool. And then I'm just like, I wish you was there, dog. I wish you was there.
But yeah,
I'll definitely have to keep that down. Noted for the future.
I still think people, as much as, we've gotten content creators doing more content, people aren't watching that shit. It's so annoying. Everyone just shows up for their gameplay. I've met so many people in person. Like, I love the channel. I'm like, do you watch anything that's not gameplay? I'm like, no, not really. I'm like, you should try it sometime. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm glad that like it wasn't like some rando who went on like Reddit and like rage baited about fucking or even a better example, because we had Mario on recently. The king of fucking rage bait.
Yeah.
There was that Reddit thread about how like he's like always doom posting blah blah blah, and in the comments you have people saying like, oh, I wish there were better content creators, oh, I want to see this, oh, I want to see that. And I'm like, all right, legitimately, we're out there. Can you open your fucking eyes and look for us, please? Like, I'm sorry, we can't serve it to you on a silver platter, because if I come here and I post, hey, here's this content, I get like 5 upvotes if I'm lucky. Sometimes that shit's sitting at like -1 downvotes because you don't want to see it. So like, help us out here. Look for the content that you want to see. It's not just, you got to look beyond the surface of content, where there's a ton of them out there. I always felt like there were like really good Digimon content creators that just weren't, household names, so to say. We need a boost. And I know like some of the content that like we're trying to pivot to make, is why I guess I'll talk about it here, since, it's been 2 weeks since I've been on pod. I've been working on, you test drove it. I've been working on a deck builder, but that tool has been like a multifaceted tool. So it's actually what that entire thing has been, damn, I have to like go back. I'm sorry. I'm about to monologue, y'all. So TBL, yeah, facts. We started DGU not because of podcast. We started before podcast, before DGU. It was just Dan and I doing a podcast, and then it was Dan, Mike and I doing a podcast. And the channel was originally Varney's Card Layer, and then at one point we were like, "Yo, like it seems like we have a good community of people who listen to the podcast. We should start a Discord community for them." So we did, and that's where DGU was born. And we're like, all right, we've got so many people, we should start tournaments for them. And so we did. So DGU was created on the foundation of obviously community, but also tournaments. It was just creating a good tournament scene for people to play in. Whether it was, at the time we were doing Friday. I don't think we ever switched from Fridays. We've been Fridays all the time, always, right, Fridays. Dan? Always Fridays, because it was the day that was best for everybody. So like, our last season, I can't say season air quotes, it was an actual season. Our last season we came back, we like our attendance like severely dipped. Some people attribute it to hiatus, but I can get into like further specifics, but like we're not going to talk about that here. Regardless, it just, I looked at the attendance go down from just previous season as a whole, and I'm like, something like needs to change. This just isn't worthwhile doing. If we made that podcast about wanting to do bigger, better content. If I want to do bigger and better content, I can't do TBL. It's not feasible. So it has to be one or the other. So one day I had this shower thought, and I hit up Dan and I was like, yo, Dan and I are big wrestling fans. I was like, yo, what if we switch TBLs and we do this wrestling inspired shit, which is where the entire like rebrand of TBLs came from. But also in doing that, I had moved. My house's internet sucks major donkey dick. It's so ass. The one night I was streaming and I booted up DCGO and stream crashed the moment I connected to a game. And I was like, oh, I can't even play DCGO while I stream. So I had to like rent a server, a virtual server, set up OBS there, set up Discord, set up everything there to be able to actually get a stable stream that wasn't crashing, because it would always crash the same point about 2 hours into the stream every night, and I couldn't understand why. But in doing that, I'm like, man, like I got to remote into the server. This is so much extra work. I'm like, if Dan and I are both doing this, we had guest commentators on the time. I'm like, I just want a tool where they can just boot up, stream, easy, GG, done. So I had started this tool like last year, but I needed to like ramp up and finish it. So started ramping up, finished the tool. Now it works to manage stream, to look at deck list and send cards to the stream, which is great. And then also I was like, all right, well, I should probably do a deck builder in case they want to look up cards that aren't on the deck list. That's where the deck builder part of it came from. And it's just kind of been this overarching project. But for the listeners, that's why I unfortunately haven't been able to upload any content, because that time I'm spending developing that tool is the time that I would normally spend. I work 2 jobs. I work full time, and then I have a company that I'm a part owner of. So there's that. And then you might as well consider content creation its own little business, especially running tournaments. I'm already late enough getting pricing and shit out. So I've had no time to upload, and I apologize. But like, we have like a lot of shit in the pipeline that is going to come out and it will drop. But like some of the stuff that like I want to do, like I did a vlog, obviously not this last weekend, the weekend before. Thank God we have an editor that I'm able to hand that off to, so that I don't have to worry about editing a vlog. I did that once in my life, and I don't look back on that with any bit of like happiness. I look back on that and I'm like, ew, why did I do that? The title, I'm gonna make sure, hold on, before I say the title, let me make sure I've taken it down from YouTube, because I don't want anybody judging. I don't want anybody judging.
Unironically, I like vlogged a whole, like, it was my granddad's 80th. We went to Jamaica, and like I vlogged the whole thing. That video is not out yet. Like, it's just on the cutting room floor. Like, I got halfway through and I just tell you, and like I do all this for it to get like 20 views. Like, my main thing now as well is like, because Twitch is doing that thing where it's deleting all of your like VODs when you pass like 100 hours of content. I've been instead of working on, you know, the next Digimon history video, I've just been like mass moving files over to a second channel to like set up an archive of like my old stuff. It's probably again gonna pull like 10 views, but it's just I don't want to lose my history as like a content creator to Twitch deciding they don't want to pay for server space anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I record. I make sure I have everything. I started paying for Mega, like I think fucking 8 terabytes, because I'm like, I refuse to lose anything. As much as I may hate some of my old projects, like this fucking vlog, which was, now that I've confirmed that it's not on YouTube, called I Threw a Chicken Nugget Out the Window. And it was a stupid vlog about me and my boy. We were in college together, and we just used to do stupid shit. And the one day I was driving home, and this person was just an idiot on the road. So I winded down my window and I threw a chicken nugget at the car, and then I drove away. So that's what.
I would judge you so hard if I knew you guys.
I'm so glad it's not on YouTube, because again, I look back on that, I'm like, ew. How did I think this was like good production quality? Luckily now, we have an editor, and I gave him full like creative control over the locals vlog. But I just know that I would spend, especially because like I'm a fucking perfectionist. There's no such thing as less than 100%. I only give what I think is 100. So that means my stupid ass is going to spend the entirety of a week editing this vlog. And then I'm also going to end up very disappointed when this vlog doesn't do anything realistically, because, you know, we've done it in the past. We did LA. Yeah, we did an episode for LA, which only garnered a paltry like 100 so reviews. And then we did an episode 2 that I never released to the public because frankly speaking, I think they didn't deserve it. I was like, if you sign up as a YouTube member, you get access to this vlog because you have chosen to support us. But if you're not supporting us, I'm sorry, you don't deserve access to this, because I don't like how you treated me for my last. That's the standpoint that I took on that. And vlogs are fun. I mean, I like the process of doing them. I wish there was, you know, as a creator,
they're kind of frustrating.
Wish there was more recognition for it.
You have to be on the whole time. Like, one of the things that really killed my motivation for the Jamaica vlog is we got like an off-brand GoPro, where instead of it being like a waterproof thing, you had like a shell that could make it waterproof. But if you had the straps on, there's obviously holes in it, and that makes it not waterproof anymore. So we had the whole SD card thing, like we're gonna get on like a water boat and stuff, but the 13 seconds of footage that survived on that SD card is it's from my brother's POV. It's like my dad putting it on him. It's like, you sure that's waterproof? It's like, yeah, but it's got like the cage on it, so it must be waterproof. It's like, only one way to find out. Goes underwater, the video cuts. And I'm just like,
Let's go, dude.
That's great.
I could kill my brother, man. He is like me, but he's just like whatever the correct route is, he's like, yeah, but this one's funnier, and always takes that route. He's so fun to be around, but he's so frustrating to work with.
That's funny.
But
So, yeah, I mean, I agree with, like, just generally speaking, I wish there was more recognition. And it sucks, you know, we're in Digimon. I always joke to my wife, I'm like, damn, if only I ended up liking fucking One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, maybe not Yu-Gi-Oh!, but One Piece, Lorcana, shit, even I love Star Wars, but I love Digimon more. And then now Gundam's coming out, so Gundam is the only thing that could potentially usurp my love for Digimon. But I'm like, man, if only I was into one of those other card games that are like super big right now, because I look at a channel that started up at the same time that I was thinking about starting a Lorcana channel, and they're at like 8,000 subscribers, and I'm like, man, could have been me. But instead, I chose the path of Agumon, a boy and his dynamo.
that's me with like some esports stuff. Valorant is like the main one for me, because when Valorant was first coming out is when I got like an award nomination, so I got scouted for Valorant, but I wasn't planning on getting into it, but I was like, okay, I've been scouted, fuck it, I'll do it. But I was kind of like touch and go with it, and some of the people that I got to work with on those early broadcasts, like I see like one of them was doing uni at the same time as me. I've casted Overwatch with him, and now he's doing like Valorant for EMEA. Yinsu Collins being the host of like all the Valorant stuff. I got to work with her. So like I've worked with a bunch of people who are like kind of killing it in Valorant, and like Keg, I got to work with him. He's like really big in Brawlhalla, and he's on like Twitch Rivals a lot. So there's a lot of things where I'm just like with esports, I think I got too complacent. So like I see a lot of that of just like I probably focused on the wrong thing. But like I'm still happy with where I'm at with Digimon. It's a very humbling experience to kind of like get recognized in person, going to like regionals, and it's weird for the guys as well, like as part of the podcast. Like I'm used to it. I've been in a bunch of like leadership positions in uni and been used to people who I don't know talking to me because they know me, and just having to kind of roll with that. For the guys, it's really new for them. Like Marcio, who was initially just supposed to be a guest and now is a big part of the podcast, like when people just come up to him and talk to him, he's like, why are you talking to me? Right, I have responsibilities in the community. People care about my opinions now. People got so mad at him for putting Tyrant in like I named our tier 1 tier format defining because we refused to use real tiers. We put format defining and put bugs. It was kind of a hostage situation. He said it as kind of a joke, and we just didn't let him not have it. And we put bugs at the bottom of format defining, and people were on his ass for weeks. So like, how dare you put Tyrant in format defining? And then it topped worlds. And then we're just like, it's so difficult being right all the time, man. So difficult being right.
It's the best part. It's what I love about the way that like we do things compared to how others might. Group of like-minded people. It's always the best because you get to gel and riff off one another. It's always funny when shit like that happens. But you can't just gloss over a fucking award for esports and not give us more background context. So pause, rewind.
So I was doing Smash for 2 different university leagues. One of them was working in like partnership with Nintendo. So just one of the clips of me casting one of a finals did really well. It got put up for an award nomination with Code Red Esports, which is where Red Eye, he used to be like a big Dota caster or something, or CS. got cancelled, rip. But like at the time, really important like award. And I was one of the only non like tier 1 esports nominations. Like everyone else was like a CS or like a League of Legends kind of like type of caster, and then it's just me from the FGC as like that one rep. So I got like nominated for like caster of the term, I think it was. So it was like split into 3 terms of the year, and I was a nominee for that one. Made it to like finalists, but didn't get it. So that's also why I'm so picky about casting, because like I've done it a lot, and I'm good at what I do.
So you got you got the word to back it up. Sure.
Yeah, I do my best. Yeah. It's really funny because like I dress like I don't care for a lot of things. It tilts people when I actually show up and do something nice. Because like why do you dress like this if you could? I'm like, because I don't want to. Quite frankly, I don't want to.
When you got it, you know. I'm curious. So I've really liked the Pokemon series that's been airing around VGC World Championships. They've kind of been doing like the vlog series. I'm sure you might have seen it or know of it. Mm-hmm. Listening to like the story and like hearing like the people commentate. Obviously, commentating a card game is kind of the same, I'm sure, but it's a difference in like subject matter and also just what's going on, because card game things move slower. It's not as action paced as fast as like any video game for that matter. So how do you apply what you've learned in doing esports commentating to basically Digimon commentating? How does that affect the way that you approach it and how you talk about things?
So I've been in a pretty like solo commentary is really difficult. It's not something I would wish on anyone. I've worked as like the inexperienced commentator. I've been the more experienced commentator in a lot of situations. So I've taught a lot of new talent. So I've gotten very used to kind of like listening to people and kind of like building off of them and kind of like yes-anding from there. With solo commentary, downtime is incredibly obvious. So it's not necessarily having like a steady stream of conscience, but you do have to lean a lot more into what we call color, where you're talking more about kind of like the higher level like analysis of stuff. Play by play isn't super useful in card games because it's like I play analog youth, reveal the top 3. Like, yeah, most people in the thing know what analog youth does, or they have eyes and are watching it. So unless you're breaking it down for people who are listening to the stream, it's not very useful. So a lot of it is kind of like decision trees. And that's how I've gotten actually a lot better at the game. I started the game with armor and played stupid. And I didn't start getting better at the game until I played purple. And my decision, the pitch that I pitched on turn 2 mattering in turn 7 turned me into a better player. But like also just watching a lot of footage and like learning how different decks function and what like players that are winning are starting to do more frequently. There's a lot of, you'll get flack for it, but there's a lot of questioning that comes in where you can watch a play and you can talk about the decisions, but also what those decisions mean, like why you might have gone for a training over a boost or an analog youth early in something like Megidramon, and recognizing why you would commit that earlier than they maybe did in game 2. I think it would definitely be harder in a best of 1 format where you don't get as much time to talk about like optimizations between games 1 and 2 and 3. But for me, downtime is like a really big part of card games, where because it is slower, it's a lot of the times games end in a scoop rather than in like a surprise lethal. So you don't really get to build up those big hype moments unless someone drops 2 Grav Crush on the mat and you go, oh, he's dead. Stuff like that doesn't really happen. So you've got to kind of like temper it. I think Pokemon, the Pokemon VGC actually has had a really big influence on my like casting style for card games, because it's not casting chess, but it's like a much slower board state where you might have 30-40 seconds before someone does anything, and like the actions of the turn actually matter. So that's been like a really big influence on kind of like how I approach card games, as a much like slower, more cerebral look at the game. But when you have someone that you can riff off of, I think a lot of it is very analyst desk, that kind of vibe where you're talking about the game or around the game and then talking about specific decisions that, you know, characterize like a player's personality, and you can kind of like build stories that way. Or in a best of 3, seeing how, since we don't have siding, how players might open differently based on what they saw from game 1 or what we saw about deck text that might have been shown off of a search and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like, it's a lot harder to not know what stuff does in this game, and you get eaten alive for it in Twitch chat if you don't know what a card does, or you misread an ult, or, you know, didn't see something in someone's hand. Everyone can see a lethal line before the people that are at the table watching the game, which, you know, is what it is. And you just make mistakes. I've always been a big fan of like, if you make mistakes, don't stay on them. Just keep moving. You'll probably make another mistake, or you can correct that mistake going forward. The less attention you draw to it, the better. So that's been like a really big thing for me. And because it's slower, you're not necessarily going to get to cover up the mistake as quickly. So there's a lot of like preliminary research that comes into it. I am terrible at the start of every format. I will read every card, forget what they all do, and then I will watch them resolve. And you can tell if you watch a video from the start of a format versus the end of a format, you can tell I'm sight reading what the cards do versus knowing what the cards do. And it's fantastic. When someone pulls out Gamamon, I go, yeah, the blue one, I guess we're unblockable. You got it, Chief.
Gamamon's probably the worst one. I'm just like, I'm going to let you do what you're doing because I'm ignorant and I don't think I'm going to know what you're doing better than you. And I don't feel like reading. I don't feel like knowing what your cards does or what your deck does. So I've admittedly fallen into a lot of, okay, so that's what it's doing. There's only a very few cards that I remember.
The card doesn't do that at all.
Right, exactly.
We always say it takes 2 to cheat, 4 if the judge is watching. They cheated, you let them cheat, and the judge let them get away with it. That took multiple people. That they earned that cheat.
You know what? That's
valid.
Truer words have never been spoken.
But no, it is really funny. Commentary is a really fun thing. It's one of those things that, like, in theory, everyone can do, but it is way, like, people freeze. Like, it is. I always want to tell people that this is something you can do. You just got to put the time in. You're gonna be shit at the start, just like content. You just got to be shit until you become less shit, and then eventually we become less shit enough that you're happy with what you're doing. But some people just don't have it. Some people just don't have it. And there's a little bit of ego that comes with that. But it's something that everyone can do. It's whether you can do it well.
Yeah, I agree with that. It definitely, like, I remember, I mean, that, obviously it applies to just content creating as a whole. But I know when we just start out commentating tournaments, yeah, shit was definitely weird. And that was with both Dan and I, let alone
it's weird as well.
Just one of
yeah, for sure.
Just because you cast doesn't mean you're a good person to have on a podcast. Just because you have a podcast doesn't mean you're good at casting. Riffing is really, really important. I think one of the cool things that you guys have is like there's chemistry. So like, you know, if 2 players flip SecCon, ain't nobody gives a shit what's happening in the match. But I'm gonna listen to you guys just yap for the round timer until we're done. But like, yeah, sometimes you have to force the chemistry, and that is difficult. That is a job.
Yeah. Especially
when the games are
so sometimes it's also just the lack of chemistry, you know? Sometimes you listen and you're just like, am I listening to 2 fucking brick walls? Like, you guys don't know what's going on. You can't give me anything good about the game that's going on. And I'm listening to you 2 talk, and it's just kind of like, yeah, we're both just sitting here waiting for the paint to dry.
It does help when one of you knows what's going on.
That's not, I'm about to say, but that's not always like chemistry. That's a person's personality at the same time. Like
if you have witnessed that it can be chemistry.
True, but I'm saying if you're just a general person who's going to be talking like Agumon Digivolve into Greymon, Greymon's effect Digivolve into play tie. Like, come on, like that's not just chemistry. That's just the person just having a dry personality and doesn't know how to portray commentary well for someone to want to listen to. Because ain't no one gonna want to listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's really interesting.
Way too boring.
You can still make that work. Like, I really like listening to Risu's commentary when he has someone that he's partnered with. He's really, or if he's reading stream chat, when he has like the second person there to riff off of.
Yeah.
I really like Risu's style of commentary. It is on the drier side, but he makes it work by having someone that he can bounce off of, or just by reading chat comments, which is really funny. But like, I didn't like him when he started, because it was just like this is like crackers, and I'm just like crunching them into like, I'm getting no flavor, no nothing. Give me something.
Nothing, no flavor, no saltines.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Oh, no.
But no, Risu's like, I really like Risu's commentary when he's on like actual regional streams, when he's got someone to bounce off of, or if he's just like more comfortable reading chat and kind of like warms up into it. Eagle's Nest has been fantastic for his like growth as a commentator. So like, I've seen people who like, maybe I wouldn't watch their YouTube content, but I do enjoy casting, or maybe I'll watch their YouTube content, but we'll mute the stream when they're casting.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this, Eagle's Nest. When me and Riso did it, that was the best. That was the best one Riso's ever done. We were nonstop going.
Digimon is one of those fun ones though.
Shout out to Risu.
I feel like everyone in chat thinks they know everything. Some of these motherfuckers have never read these cards in their life. I love.
Oh my god!
I now screenshot comments before people delete them, but I will see someone come in with the most confidently wrong. They'll be like, actually, they misplayed. I can't believe they did this, and I'll go like, damn, they said that with so much confidence, and I'll open up card.io and I'll read the FM. This motherfucker's just wrong. Just straight up wrong. Bro engineered a game state that could not physically exist.
Yeah, it happens quite often. Quite crazy.
Yeah, our scene is a little bit toxic, and that I'm gonna take partial credit for that. That's my fault. I gave Marcio a platform, and that's my fault. We have a reaction image in our Discord that is, you know, the thing of the guy holding the microphone to like a trash can.
Yeah.
No. I haven't seen that.
It's just like a picture of a trash can. Someone's holding up the microphone, like they're interviewing it, and it's just like empty trash can. And we just have like in block text, it just says any tops, and we have used that in response to so many comments. Just like we'll see someone just mouthing off.
That's the Peter Frankie way, baby.
It's bad sometimes, because like we'll see like especially for like our like femme presenting players as well, like Emily. It's really well known name in our scene, really solid Bloom player, like one of the like top 4 Bloom players in the UK. She's fantastic, really solid armor player, really like fantastic results. And I'll just see someone just fucking yapping, just like, oh, she misplayed this. I'm like, bro, you're beefing with maybe the 3rd best Bloom player in the UK. Shut up.
It's like
sometimes the funny is the ones that who swear they know like a deck or something, or they swear these are the 50 cards you have to play, but then they never show up in a tournament and play. And it's like, how can you tell someone who's actually participating in these regionals consistently, and they either doing well, maybe not the best, top 32, top 16, maybe not win top 4 or whatever, but top 16 is pretty good in a 256 man tournament or something, and you swear his list is wrong, but you never play in them because of reasons. Those are the best ones to me.
I'm convinced it's just people that don't have locals. Like, we were talking to Meaty Kage about it, and it's like, I'm convinced they're just people that they play mental Digimon against themselves in their room, or like Drazzle. They never go to locals. They don't build them social skills. Like, people play card games, and you'd think that social skills are something that you are like, it's forced into you by the fact that you have to talk to another person. But then you go to a regional and you go, nope. Damn, these people are not socializing. They are resolving cards in front of you.
Absolutely not. Dark players are not social people at all.
See, I think we're poisoned as well. Like, a lot of my friends are like, a lot of my friends are fighting game guys. So we like come from a little bit more of a rambunctious, a little bit rowdier.
Y'all are inherently toxic.
Oh, those people.
Dan would fit right in.
Yes, sir.
I've been around those people before.
Dan is one of those people. Don't let him fool you.
I only play Soul Calibur heavy. That's all.
Yo, Soul Calibur. That scene's struggling. COVID killed y'all off. It was rough.
100%.
Then again, I play dead games as well. Like some of my best results are in dead games. That's why I commentate.
Oh no.
It's like this comment that Panzer made. Shout out to Panzer. He said, what did he say? He said it in Discord here. Something about how the amount of channels having to eat crow on thinking Galactic and Megidra were going to be dog water decks amuses me. Shows how many folks needed to copy JP homework, which is one of my favorite parts about unification. I don't fancy myself as somebody who's a like.
Funny. I don't know if you heard this, but we talked about exactly this in me and Mike's episode last week. Continue. You can go on your little soapbox since we were talking about for like 4 hours of it.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I don't fancy myself as like I know everything. Like my knowledge is like the be all end all or anything of the sort, but like to think that I have a pretty good grasp on the game, general card knowledge, and just things generally speaking. I could put together my own deck list without having to look at somebody's deck list. I just do it because it makes my job easier. I don't have to expend as many brain cells. But if I have to expend the brain cells, I will.
Yeah, you won't have many to lose. So
I love JP deck building. Like
I will fly over to your house, Dan. I'll smack you with this fucking beanbag. Go ahead, Elixir.
I genuinely love JP deck building. Like they do be building like they've only got 15 minutes in the store and they need to hit you with the craziest one-off you've never read in your life. It's so fun. Like one of my friends, Jambo, who's super vocal, he's like, if you just ever need a chuckle on Twitter, you just stroll through and it'll be like some random JP local. 3 guys, they played 2 rounds and then everyone went for like sake in round 3 and dropped, and they'll still post their deck list and he'll just be quote retweet flaming every time. He hates Japan deck building and he's always like, Japan gets like 8 people that come to Worlds and they've never won it. They're shit. And then, they smoked this year's World. So like he kind of just has to hold that. But like JP deck building, we've had just a thread that's just like the zany Japanese Twitter lists that we found. And you just see just like, card from BT2 no one's read ever, just as a one-off, and they'll find it every time. That I'm that guy for our scene. Like, you go to someone else for 48 cards, and if you don't know what other 2 cards to put in, come to me. I'll reach into the pot of dark magic and I'll pull you Lightning Blade.
Yeah, it's I like being unified because I like this this unknown meta. I like more importantly, as a content creator, I like when I'm given more opportunities to be right than to be wrong. But that requires me to be confident in my opinion, which I am 10 times out of 10, even when I am wrong. Right, Dan?
I don't know. I mean, you're wrong when it comes to me. So that 10 out of 10 is for like everybody else. When it comes directed to me, that's like a 0 out of 10.
You know what? I gotta hire another editor to go back on every previous podcast and to find every wrong Dan take to make a compilation video of Dan's worst takes.
I think it's gonna be like frequently.
A 30-minute clip.
Genuinely, I think about that shit frequently. We will. The goal is if you shit out 100 bad takes, you got to hit at some point. And as long as you only clip the hits, there's no proof that you win.
That's party right there. If you do what you just did, Vardy, I guarantee it'll be like quadruple the amount of wrong takes that you have versus mine. I guarantee it.
I don't have a game controller, but I'm pressing X to doubt right now.
I'm 100% confident on that. 100%.
Name one off the top of your head.
Metal Garurumon is control deck over there.
But you can't bring that up. We've conceded on that. You have brought me around to the light.
The Melga conversation.
Right, I got a new one. I got a new one. I got a new one. I got you. As much as I love Ukomon does not belong in my red hybrid deck because I am a Takuya tribal motherfucker.
Wrong.
That means all of my rookies, they're Flamemons and Bokomons. That's it. It's the only rookies that belong in my deck. I don't need Ukomon. I'm not saying he's not good. I just said I don't want Ukomon in my red hybrid deck, specifically in my Takuya tribal deck. That is unfortunately playing 3 fucking Takuya Koji because card is cracked. I digress. Fuck Ukomon in that deck, Dan. That's the only time you'll hear me say fuck Ukomon.
Nah,
Otherwise, leave Ukomon out your mouth.
we've always been like, in addition to watching my good friend Trix open Digica and ruin his day, every time it was open up a new video. It's open up a new video. Ooh, it's Terriermon. Looks inside. 8 Ukomons. Closes the video. And I'm like, bro, you gotta stop doing this. It's always gonna be 8 Ukomon until they take him out. That it's gonna be 8
really
Ukomon.
Is. Me personally, I love my boy. Yo, Ukomon's my boy. But I like my tribal decks more. I'm just a whore for tribal decks, okay? So leave me alone, Daniel. Dan was so flabbergasted that
fits perfectly. It fits perfect for Red Hybrid when it
doesn't. I can't digivolve on him.
You just
Bonnie, I have this conversation in Armor all the time.
On him.
I have this conversation about Uko in Armor all the time. I'm like, but the tempo, but he can't evolve.
It makes sense. There's a difference between armors and red hybrids. There's a difference. It makes sense for armors to not use it. Red hybrids all about burr.
I can go burr with my Flame Mons. I can hard drop Flame Mon search and then swing his asset security next turn. Oops, he didn't die. Woohoo, value for me.
The extra, early hatch matters.
Nah, bro, that's what I got. 12
easily.
I got 12 tamers. I have no problem finding my tamers.
So much for that,
I don't,
know what I'm saying?
I don't have the purple hybrid problems, Dan. Nope.
What purple hybrid problems? I'll take purple hybrid and dog walk you right now.
You wish you could? You want a match right now? I got you. After this, give me the purple hybrid, red hybrid.
I ain't worried about no red hybrid with purple hybrid. Even with it being with no mats and 1 jack raid, I got it. I ain't worried about it. I use Spirit Evolution better than you can. It's a red card. What's up?
Spirit Evolution is crazy, bro. I don't know. The delays they put in this set were insane.
Bro, I read Spirit Evolution.
It's so good for purple hybrid. It's not even funny.
I read that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, there's no way this isn't like at least the 3 of in this deck, right? Like, I like Ancient Guard and Didi, but like Spirit Evolution.
It's crazy.
I haven't played the deck yet, so.
Because like BT17, like the movie options or whatever, like not all of them could have been Primogenitor. Like Galamon's one, trash.
Yeah.
Shine Greymon's one, trash. Now, if I check a security and a delay option pops out, I'm like,
bro, Spirit Evolution, the whatever the armor one is called.
Armor Digivolution.
Oh,
Armor Digivolution.
Of course it's Armor Digivolution. Shit, even the fucking Gamamon one, bro, that should be cooking. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, unfortunately, Gamamon's like not the greatest deck ever, but man, that option is so cracked.
So
I think that's
so
a player based.
I don't like seeing like tier 1, tier 2. We have like, it's meta defining, contenders, rogue/sleeper. If I were to put Gamamon on a list right now, that motherfucker's a contender.
I'm sorry.
Bottom of contender.
I believe that.
But I refuse to believe it too. I hate this deck as much as the next person. Sorry, I hate Gamamon as much as the next person. But the way I see these lists be cooking when I'm playing against them, I'm like, there's no shot that this list doesn't top a tournament. Like, it's coming soon.
I think the problem is it's just another one of those ones where like the people that want to play the deck are the guys that watched Ghost Game and went, wow, look, it's Gamamon. I'm going to make Siriusmon instead of doing Arcturus loops for 3 turns in a row and just killing people.
Yeah. Bro, that...
I've seen it get played, and I saw someone who's a pretty good player with it, and I just dog walked them. Like, it's just not even like, I just don't think the cards.
I'm not saying it's going to win.
There's certain cards in it that's really good, but if the top end is so like, like you can't even like, Proxima is like whatever, you know what I'm saying?
You
like,
don't run Proxima.
I don't even personally.
Your whole goal is supposed to get to Proxima, right? But instead you just run OBX anyways, regardless. So like,
that's the problem.
Arcturus is cool, but like it doesn't. Again, to me, it doesn't do enough.
It's a great inheritable.
It's a problem card.
But that's
you know what I'm saying?
about
like, it's
The list.
It's that new Sirius.
The canon wise, the new canon wise that gives the protection. Great card. The new Sirius is alright too, but like the option is what really helps the deck go burr.
Yeah, I
Like,
do agree. The option
and then,
is definitely really good.
The new champion was Gulas Gamma. Solid card.
Why does he come out of
Fantastic card, my
security?
Exactly.
Why does he do that?
And it's also an on play. It's also an on play to pop a little 4 lower, you know what I'm saying? And then you can climb up the ranks with the option. Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. But every time I see it, I'm like, all right, cool. You did all that. Cool. I'm going to board wipe the shadow and call it a day. And you have no answers to me. Like, that's how I always feel when it comes to that deck. Even with the current stuff, it's just,
I'm not saying it's going to win.
Maybe skill different. The people that I've seen play it and play against to get with it. Could be. I don't know. But I just don't see in that deck. Digimon,
Nah.
I can see it winning a store regional. I think the store regionals are a really big thing for like meta thing. I think if you can go 5 runs and every time you evolve, your opponent reaches over the table and goes, "It does what?" That's how you get your invite. That's how Gamamon gets his invite.
Knowledge check people. It's just knowledge check people.
I'm never trying to play honest Digimon unless I'm playing armor. I'm never trying to play honest. People know me for Megidramon. The amount of games I won at the regional, I got like top 100 at, from letting people play, make a floodgate and go over to you, and they do one game action and go, "Your turn's over. Unlucky. You did not read. You did not study for the test." And then because I'm up game 1, they then read every single card. I think I burned like 10 minutes of people going, "All right, so what does this floodgate do?" I just start making random fours that don't do anything just to have them pick up the card. I'm never trying to play honest Digimon. I beat Purple Hybrid on Beelzemon by just going, "You're going to hit the slinger. I believe in you. Make that dog and then see what happens."
Bro, that's one thing I miss about like playing in person. Like, I would totally shit talk like that. If I was like, if I wanted to be like really grading, I would definitely play like Beelzemon in that way. It's like the best way.
Vani, I can tell you the secret to mental booming someone is off of the spark. I'm so talented. I do that off of every single spot. It's infectious. Like, people look over and I'm just like, I'll show them what I ripped off the top and they go, "Bro, you're so talented." I'm like, "Aren't I?" As I'm just sacking people. Like, I love playing mental Digimon. I play Ragnar. I love having no ace in hand and just stone cold. You gonna swing that? Torn. And they were like, "Oh, I guess I'll stay in the back and block." And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can block." "Yeah, I can. Thanks for wasting your turn. I'm gonna do it again next turn."
I can't have that menacing type of look over webcam, man. Maybe I should just play Rule Knights in fucking person, because I can just be like,
"You
one security." Do I have it?
No, you don't. You're not scared at all. You ain't scared.
Honestly, the problem is fucking 8 times out of 10, I don't fucking have it because my 2 Omni X's were in security. I already used one and I can't fucking see the next one. Fucking, we love Digimon. It's okay.
It's a game for scammers and thieves, bro.
It's a game for the high seas, not name One Piece. Set out on your search, Dan. Speaking of Dan, when are you gonna play One Piece?
Never.
I thought you said you was gonna play One Piece. I thought you said you was quitting Digimon for One Piece. I never
said that. You're such a liar. I don't know what you've been on this last like 2 weeks. You've been on some lying bullshit. I don't know what you've been smoking or what. I don't know. You got Mike infested in your brains or something. Like, you on here some BS lately. Oh my God. Saturday? You were just on some shit.
I wasn't on shit. I'm part of the crew. I don't know what y'all was talking about. You just don't remember me.
No,
what happened? This girl came that Dan swears he doesn't fucking remember, right? And she was like showing pictures and she's like, "I was fucking there." And Dan's like, "I don't remember you at all." So I was like, yeah, I mean, Dan doesn't fucking remember me either. And I was there for the entirety of fucking however long he was there for.
No, my housemate's so bad for that. Like when you go get like a coffee place and you got the reward card and they stamp it every time you get your coffee. That's my housemate with remembering people's faces. Like, and we're like, "Hey bro, until the 3rd time, she doesn't know you exist." We were talking about one of my friends who has come to our house, given us a housewarming gift, eaten food in our house with her. And she was like, "I've never seen this man in my life." I'm like, she remembered the meal he was at, but not that he was at it. I'm like, there's no way. You can't be like this. And yeah, same person. It's like, "Oh yeah, we met in the shops one time." It's like, "Never seen you in my life." It's like, 2 more times, she'll know who you are.
That's crazy. See, Dan, it's okay to admit that you just don't know. You just don't remember me. You know, We've been friends for how long?
This person has, I've never seen this person in like, I guess 8-10 years almost.
Excuses, excuses. That's what I'm hearing. All I'm hearing is excuses, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, it is time. It is that time. It's time to end pod. So, do we have any parting words for the nice listeners?
Please watch content that isn't gameplay. I beg of you.
Literally anything. I would love to make more explorative content. I've tried. I guess I'll soapbox for a little bit. I've done it. Oh, actually, this brings up a good topic. All right, so we're not ending podcast just yet. I was looking at I do these things called card caches. Yeah, I really did. Sorry, Lucas. I did this thing called a card cache, and I've been doing them for a minute, and it was literally just me doing fucking showing off all the cards that I buy because I have a fucking problem. And no card cache has performed as well as the podcast where I said, wow, these cost a lot of money. And the title was Royal Knight Arts Cost a Lot. And I found that funny because I released 3 videos in succession. It was that, it was the next one, the artist did a phenomenal job on these arts, and then the third one was the details on these Digimon cards are crazy. I try not to be too clickbaity with like anything because we're just not that type of people, not that type of channel. Generally, anything that we talk about is very closely aligned with our views. I don't try to paint like the opposite picture. So like that was pretty honest. I mean, I spent a pretty penny on Royal Knight Arts. That got 470 views and 26 likes. And I was like, oh man, wow, that's a good card cache. And then the next video did 150 views on 10 likes and then 129 views on 9 likes. So it got me thinking, I'm sitting here and I'm like, obviously, like I know what the YouTube meta is to a point. Like, do I really need to like try to feed into this clickbaity shit? Should I have named this video like Calumon is the best art of all time? Like, should I have to sit here and be like, oh, what card is there? I don't know. No card looks better than Hito or some stupid shit like that. Is that what's gonna get people to click? Because
it feels like you got to be like mad generic, like really non-specific. Is this the best card art in Digimon? Like,
right? Because it's like if 470 views, let's say like, I don't know what. Obviously, that's not like 470 people. Let's just say that like half of that's people, like 200 people watched that video, and then only like 100 people watched the other ones. Where are the other 100 of you? Like, you liked it, clearly. I know you did. I see 12 comments. I see 26 likes and 470 views. How can I replicate that? Do I need to like clickbait your ass back here? Because I will. Because I will.
It's so inconsistent. Like,
Baiting of clicking.
It's for me, my personal cross to bear is like my Digicross video did numbers. That video, it could have done, like I could have done it better, but that video did numbers. The flaming the entire mechanic, Digicross didn't work. It did numbers. I put more effort, learned a bunch of things from that video, and put the DP minus video. That video did like a third of the views. Like I think off the top of my head, the Digicross one broke like 10K.
Wow.
And yeah, it's sitting at 12K right now. And the DP minus video, which I was way more passionate about, put a lot more work into, it's like plateaued at 4,000. And it's why I stopped doing video essays. Because I was like, I put so much work into that. The video is significantly longer. I took on all the feedback from the first video, and a bunch of people did not come back to it. The Shoutmon video is done pretty well. Still hasn't beaten the Digicross video. And my entire channel is being mogged by a Razer keyboard unboxing I did when I was 16. My entire channel is being mogged by it. It's not even close, bro. It's like actually like 35K views on some random ass like shot phone cam walking around like video. And I'm just like, ain't no way my whole channel is actually just still being dusted by a video that's hasn't gotten any traction in years. And it's just so much higher than everything else I put my heart and soul into. I just obviously consistency helps, but like, you motherfuckers gotta watch stuff. Like, please subscribe.
We tried out here.
like videos if you like them. I know it takes like one click.
Truly.
Dislike them if you don't like them. Even if like it's useful for us to know. And subscribe. Everyone thinks they're subscribed. That you're not. If you think you're subscribed, you're not. Just click the button. YouTube even makes it glow. You like jangle keys. Go click the button.
So true story. The DigiGuard United YouTube channel was not subscribed to KNT Elixir, which they are now. My personal YouTube account was, not the DGU account. So there you go. Go subscribe. And if you like this video, drop a like or dislike. But I know when you guys dislike it, it's because you don't like the riff and views that we be taking. I see those dislikes. I be laughing at those dislikes. I see when people dislike videos and I see like what the percentages is. It'd be like 2 to 3. And I'm like, you just didn't like that we said some shit. That's what it is.
We made fun of your favorite deck.
Right. It's because I talked about those. Remember Dan, the comp, the conglomeration of Mirage players?
Yeah.
Where you out now? Where's that Discord at? Didn't invite me. That's why your deck got hit. Anyways, that is it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. So if you guys like this video, yes, do drop a like and drop a comment. Let us know what you thought. And also go check out KNT Elixir on his channel where they do the Misplay for Game podcast. It is a great podcast and he's got great content. As he said, watch the content. And until we talk to you guys the next time, peace out.
Catch y'all on the next one.
I won't.